Hello, my name is Oliver Glanz and I'm a professor of Old Testament at Andrews University. In this tutorial I would like to show you how to access morphological information in Logos Bible software. So you're seeing here on the left the ESV, and then the BHS in the middle, and then the 28th edition of the Nestle Aland. Obviously, we have a Hebrew and Greek text that will require sometimes from us to look up meanings of both lexical art as lexical kind as well as morphological kind. So whenever you're hovering over a Hebrew or Greek word, let's go down here to, for example, photos. You will get this little window. I'm sure whether you can see that if you move all the way down, put your attention to the button of the screen, and there the button of your Nestle Aland text box, you see noun, genitive, singular, neuter, and then the lexical form, let me force, and not the genitive photos, and then a little gloss light. So as I'm hovering over my Greek words, you see that automatically this little morphological window is popping up. Now the same is true for the Hebrew. You see Hamayim. It gives you first information about the fact that there's an article involved, then Mayim, then morphological information, noun, count, masculine, singular, masculine, plural, absolute, and then since my preferred Bible translation is that of Postma and Osting, I'll get both a German gloss as well as an English gloss. Okay, good. Now, if you want to have more information available, then you can go to the tool section and click on information. Now, this will open, similar to Logos, the instant details window there, a similar construction. It's here called information. So whenever you're now clicking on a word, for example, ache, it will show you a definition of that word. It will pull up a couple of dictionaries that you prefer. Then it will show you how translations are actually translating ache. So the beginning obviously is translating the ESV, NIV, and so on, NSV, in Principio, in the Vulgate. You can also compare the text translation from here by just clicking on this, and then you see how the different texts are actually translating your phrase. Then you get some morphological information, and then a couple of other things. Now, the same is true if you click on a Hebrew word. For example, haaretz, you see the definition and the different forms being put here into this information window. Per default, several things are actually activated and show up. I suggest to you, just for having a better software performance, that you take away all those things that are not really of interest for a seminarian or a pastor. So for example, if you click on Theon, you see it takes quite a while until this whole window is populated with information. So so if you want to have it more instant, the information appear more instant, you actually click away all the things that you're not interested in. For example, footnotes we can click in, and then highlights we can click away, preaching themes we can click away. Also here, these other references, we click away, literary typing, and now we have only the glosses, basically translation comparison, how translations translate that word. That's sometimes handy, and then our morphological information. Now when I'm clicking on a word, it's populated much faster. Okay, so that's the third way of showing morphological information. Number one is just hovering over the word, and you get the information below as a kind of overlay on the text. Then the information window, and the third one is actually to have interlinear appear. So you can create interlinears by going to this interlinear sign. You see, not every text will have that interlinear sign, but if it has, you can click here and you will get an interlinear. So in that interlinear, we have now the ESV with an interlinear. You see the Greek text here, and you see all kinds of lines with additional information, and it's up to you what type of information you want to see. For example, you might want to just see the surface text, you might want to see the lemma, but you might also be interested in morphology, but probably not in strong numbers, and perhaps also not in the Louw-Nida indication. But you might want to get actually a little, you might want to see the root, so that you know what form you have to look up in the dictionary. Okay, so the same is available here for the Hebrew. You see this little interlinear sign, and then you can define what type of information you actually want to see. For the BHS, you have the option to click on the Ketiv and Kere, so that will show you all those cases where you have a Ketiv case. Sorry. Let's go here to a later text. I might have more of that. Oh yeah, there's one in Ruth chapter 1. Nice one. Ruth chapter 1. And you see here the Ya'asi or Ya'as. There's kind of a discussion of is this a Yusuf or is this a Yiktal form. So obviously the Hebrew text suggests the Yusuf form, but so that would be the Kere, but the Ketiv would be Ya'ase. So this is of course not something that you would regard as an interlinear in the traditional sense. Interlinear here just means that we can have between the lines, interlinear, between the lines additional information. What type of additional information is available depends on your resource. Obviously here the ESV allows you to have really an interlinear in a traditional sense. If you want to open, for example, a biblical Hebrew interlinear, the best way is to go to your library and then type in interlinear, and then you get all those texts that are dedicated interlinear texts. For example, here the Lexham Hebrew English Interlinear Bible. So you choose this one, and now you can click here on the interlinear, and it will allow you to see the interlinear information. Yes, so you see here the dictionary entry forms, then you have a gloss, then you have the translation. We can click that away, English literal translation, and then we have the morphological codes here. So this is what it is. There are 3 ways to access morphological information. Number 1, you just hover over your words, and this floating window at the bottom appears. Number 2 is you go to Tools, click on Information, and then you have this type of instant details information. When you click on a word, the meaning will appear here on the right. And the third one is to actually open an interlinear, a dedicated interlinear Bible translation. As we saw here, you just type in interlinear and your interlinear Bibles will show up. Or you click on this interlinear sign that is available with most texts, and some of them actually allow you to access a traditional interlinear where you can decide what type of information you want to display or not. Okay, I hope that was helpful for you. Bye.